Okay, just Excel workbook, sales data. Okay, select the tables which you want. So I'm clicking on transform data. Anyway, we are currently working with the transform data only, right? It is going to transform data directly. Here, determining automatic transformations in the sense automatically it will identify the relationship between all the tables. That is what it is happening. Anyway, now we can do that. Yeah, okay. Yesterday we have completed until here append and merge queries, right? I think in the home tab we completed all the options. Anyway, these three are not required. These are belongs to machine learning and thing like test analytics something. It is not required. Until here it is enough. Okay, again we will check once more append and merge queries. Later we'll go to the next part. Okay, append in the sense which I said earlier, where we will combine one or more multiple files into one table. Like what we will do in the Excel, just we will copy paste one below the another, right? The same thing will be happening in the append queries, where you can combine multiple sheets into one page. Append queries in the sense like where we will fetch the information from other tables based on the mapping information between the both the tables. Just we will see one more thing and we will go to the next thing. First thing, here we have only the critical orders, the one which we have taken earlier itself, the same thing. Here we don't have any critical orders. Now here we have only critical orders. In this case, I want to include high priority orders also. Normally, when we load up multiple tables, now in this case, here I am loading two tables, right? If I want to create any columns for the orders, again I need to perform every time two measures or two columns. For that, directly we will append the both the tables into one, and later we will not load this file because anyway it is duplicate, right? These two are when we appended into the critical order, so we will not load these two tables, so that the size will be first only until here the data will be shown up. Now here, now in this case, I have loaded these four tables. Now here I have only priority in the critical in the priority column in the critical orders. Now I am appending these two tables also to there. Now in the critical orders I have 15 columns. In a high also I have 15 columns. In priority also I have 15 columns. Because here I am not deleting any rows, just I am. If there is any column names are mismatch or some column is not available, it will be created, but those columns will come as null. Whatever we have information, we will get it. Otherwise, we will get not null. Now here I am going to critical orders, do append queries. Now we are joining two or more tables, right? Because now we need to join high and priority both. I am coming here. By default, critical orders has been taken. Later, I am adding high and priority also. Now, when I click on this information, it will append these three tables. Okay. Now when I click on close and apply, right, in this table we'll get all the information because which we have appended, and later once I have loaded that information, high and priority also, these two also will be loaded because these two are not required anymore because we have already appended, right? At that time, just we can click on here, enable load is there, right? For example, now by default this option is checked out. When I uncheck this option, no, this report, this load will not be happening into the Power BI desktop. We'll see that. Now I don't click on that option directly, whatever it is there I have loaded, but here I have appended it. When I do close and apply to the critical orders, everything will be combined, but in the high and priority orders, whatever the table which we are loading from the source, that is what will be there. But after we combined also, we don't need to take that information, right? Because that is duplicate information. At that time, we can disable the loading refresh, loading into the data model, so that the table will not be load. We'll do that one second. Now, once the data is loaded here, what we have? We have all the sheets, but in the critical orders, we have all the priorities which we have loaded up, like high we have, and remaining also like low, medium, not specified, and everything. But anyway, here, one second, where is this priority? Even now, whatever the information is available in high and priority is already available in the critical orders. So these two tables are not required to load. Okay, for that, see now in the critical orders, I have whole data because which we have appended, right? One second, it is slow. See, now I have all the information, even what we have in the critical and orders also. Now I am going to the transform data again. I may not require to load again high priority, high and this priority table. So I am going to the transform data again, and I have shown that option, right? Include enable load option. Now when I click, I am clicking on this option, this table, particular table, and right click enable load. Okay, when we uncheck this button, right, it will not load this data into Power BI desktop. Only here it will be shown. But if you have deleted this table, right, for example, if you have deleted this table now, then the high orders will not come into the critical orders, because until Power Query Editor we are fetching this information from here only, we are combining that information. Just we are unhiding, that is what enable load, we are just stopping, because until here it will be load up, later it will combine. But when you delete it, right, here we have taken the source up and from the high table only, no, then it will throw the error and the data will be not loaded. For that only we will just enable the load option, just disable the load. Then now see, these two has become like italic font, right? When you click on close and apply, these two tables will be not loaded into the model, but the information is already available in the critical orders. We'll check once again. Any doubts here? Even not only for this append query, even in the future also, if you don't require any tables, we will disable the load itself. Okay.
Is it required before appending that data should be clean, or I
Yeah,
mean, we can add raw data as well. We can append raw data as well.
yeah. Now in this case, right, here what we are taking earlier in the critical orders, we have only critical priority, right? But think that we have got four different sheets for, I think here in this case, I am taking only priority. Normally, think that I got information for 2021 table, 2021 table, and 2022 one table. Now, what we need to do every time, anyway, you don't have the data source access to directly modify in the database itself. Like think that now we have in the Excel so that we can modify, but in the real time scenarios you don't have the direct source for access. At that time you can't directly append there itself, right? For that we will load into the Power BI model, and when you loading this information into the Power BI desktop, we will not combine, for example, if I want to find out the sales for whole information, like then what you need to do, for example, simple measure, calculate sum of sales from the critical orders. We need to take sum of sales plus think that 2020, 2021, 2022 data, 2022 data. Then what you need to do, sum of sales for 2020 plus sum of sales for 2021 and sum of sales for 2022. You need to create three measures, and later we need to combine it again. Now in this case what happened, we have combined that whole information into single table, right? Directly you can write single measure. Understood?
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, for that, normally we will combine the data into when we are getting like this information only. Earlier in the CASA 1 which you seen, we have the same information for CASA 1 and Bureau 1 also, right? Everywhere in the tables and everywhere. At that time, normally we will not load up all the we will not load the bureau time anywhere into the Power BI model. Just we will load into the Power Query editor. Later we will append CASA 1 Bureau 1 into CASA 1 table and we will load only the CASA 1 information. But in the organization, no, we have created one extra column for organization. There we will differentiate like CASA 1 and Bureau 1, C1 and B1.
Okay.
Yeah, that is what. Okay,
ఇప్పుడు
now,
టూ
yeah.
టూ టేబుల్స్ లో సేమ్ రోస్ ఉంటాయి కొన్నిసార్లు. అంటే కస్టమర్ టేబుల్, సబ్స్క్రైబ్ టేబుల్ తీసుకుంటే కామన్ గా కస్టమర్ నెంబర్స్ ఉంటాయి కదా సేమ్ రెండిట్లో. అప్పుడు ఎలా మెర్జ్ చేయాలి?
అప్పుడు మనం డూప్లికేట్స్ కావాలంటే అన్వాంటెడ్ అయితే రిమూవ్ చేయొచ్చు. లోడ్ చేసిన
ఓ-
తర్వాత సేమ్ ఆర్డర్ ఒకవేళ మల్టిపుల్ టైమ్స్ రిపీట్ అవుతుంది, నాకు అవసరం లేదు అనుకుంటే
అలా అలా
కనుక
అలా కాదు. ఇప్పుడు కస్టమర్ టేబుల్లో సేమ్ కస్టమర్ ఐడి ఉంటది, సబ్స్క్రైబ్ టేబుల్లో కస్టమర్ ఐడి ఉంటది. అలాంటప్పుడు ఏం చేయాలి?
అలాంటప్పుడు రెండు కంబైన్ అవ్వవు. ఎందుకంటే ఇప్పుడు
అవ్వ.
మనకి కస్టమర్స్ ఎగ్జాక్ట్ కాలమ్ నేమ్స్ ఉండి మనం ఆ రెండింటిని చేస్తుంటే కంబైన్ అవుతాయి.
ఓకే.
ఓకేనా?
ఓకే. ఆ!
కానీ మనం అలా రిక్వైర్డ్ చేయం కదా! అట్లా మనకి ఆర్డర్స్ టేబుల్ అనేది పూర్తిగా సెపరేటు, సబ్స్క్రైబర్స్ అనేది పూర్తిగా సెపరేటు. అలాంటప్పుడు మనం రెండిటిని కంబైన్ చేయకూడదు. మనం ఎలాంటప్పుడు కంబైన్ చేస్తామంటే, ఇప్పుడు ఈ కేసులో చూసినట్టు, లేదంటే ఈచ్ సిటీకి డిఫరెంట్ ఇన్ఫర్మేషన్ వస్తుంది.
ఓకే. ఆ!
అలాంటప్పుడు ఇప్పుడు మనకి ఇక్కడే ఉంది సేమ్ ఇన్ఫర్మేషన్ ఇది. ఇలా హోల్ టేబుల్ కాకుండా వాళ్ళేంటంటే ఈచ్ రీజియన్‌కి సెపరేట్ టేబుల్ ఇస్తున్నారనుకుందాం ఫర్ ఎగ్జాంపుల్.
హ్మ్.
అలాంటప్పుడు ఏంటి మనము ఈచ్ టేబుల్‌ని లోడ్ చేసి ఈచ్ రీజియన్‌కి సెపరేట్‌గా కాలమ్స్ గానీ, మెథడ్స్ గానీ అలా క్రియేట్ చేసే బదులు నార్మల్‌గా ఏం చేస్తాం మనం, ఈ 2 టేబుల్స్‌ని కంబైన్ చేసుకొని మనం ఒకే దాంట్లో ఇన్ఫర్మేషన్ యూజ్ చేస్తాం కదా!
ఓకే.
అట్లాంటి కేసెస్ కోసమే మనం జస్ట్ నార్మల్గా ఎక్సెల్లో ఏదైతే 1/1 ఇప్పుడు మనకి ఎక్సెల్లో నేను ఇంతకుముందు చేసినప్పుడు డిఫరెంట్ సిటీస్కి ఇన్ఫర్మేషన్ వచ్చేది. ఫస్ట్ ఏం చేసేవాళ్ళం అంటే ఆ ఇన్ఫర్మేషన్ అంతా కాపీ చేసుకొని ఒక టేబుల్లో పేస్ట్ చేసుకునేవాళ్ళం. అంటే ఇంకా సమ్మరీ లాగా లేదంటే క్యూములేటివ్ లాగా ఒక టేబుల్లోకి వచ్చిన తర్వాత వాటి మీద యాక్షన్స్ పర్ఫామ్ చేస్తాం. న్యూ కాలమ్స్ కానీ లేదంటే పివట్ టేబుల్స్ కానీ ఏదైనా సేమ్ థింగ్ మనం ఇక్కడ చేస్తున్నాం అంతే.
అంటే లింక్ టేబుల్స్‌కి యూజ్ అవ్వదు అంతేనా?
లింక్ టేబుల్స్కి యూజ్ అవుతుంది. అది వచ్చేసి మనకి ఆ ఇన్ఫర్మేషన్ ఫెచ్ చేసుకోవాలి. అంటే ఇప్పుడు నువ్వు ఆర్డర్స్ టేబుల్ సబ్స్క్రైబ్ టేబుల్స్ ఉంది.
హ్మ్.
సబ్స్క్రైబర్స్ ఎవరెవరో నేను ఆర్డర్స్ టేబుల్లో చూడాలనుకుంటున్నాను అనుకో, అప్పుడేంటి
హ్మ్.
మనం మర్జ్ కొరీస్ యూజ్ చేస్తాం. ఇంతకుముందు చూసాం కదా! అంటే మ్యాప్
అవునవును.
చేసుకొని ఆ ఇన్ఫర్మేషన్ ఇదేంటంటే అపెండ్ కొరీస్ అనమాట. అపెండ్
ఓకే.
కొరీస్లో రోస్ ఇంక్రీజ్ అవుతాయి, కాలమ్స్ ఇంక్రీజ్ అవ్వవు. ఎందుకంటే ఎగ్జాక్ట్ కాలమ్ నేమ్స్ ఉంటాయి కాబట్టి. మర్జ్ కొరీస్లో ఏంటంటే కాలమ్స్ ఇంక్రీజ్ అవుతాయి.
ఓకే. ఓకే. ఇది
హ్మ్.
లెఫ్ట్ టాప్ టు బాటమ్
మనం
ఉందా?
ఇంతకుముందు
ఆ!
చూసాం కదా! లెఫ్ట్
అవును.
జాయిన్, రైట్ జాయిన్ మనం ఏదైతే
హ్మ్.
ఇస్తున్నామో ఎస్‌క్యూఎల్ జాయిన్స్ లాగా సేమ్ థింగ్ అనమాట మర్జ్ క్వెరీస్.
ఓకే.
ఇది
ఓకే.
అపెండ్ ఓకేనా? ఇప్పుడేంటంటే దీంట్లోనే మనకి ఇన్ ద క్రిటికల్ ఆర్డర్స్ ఇట్‌సెల్ఫ్ వి హావ్ టేకెన్ ఆల్ ద ఇన్ఫర్మేషన్. But we have disabled that information. Now for example, if I have deleted first thing what I have done, there I have disabled that information to be loaded into the Power BI model. But if I have deleted that information, right, think that I am deleting one or two tab here we have high and priority, no, I will delete either of one, then how it will look, we'll see. Now here I have that information. Here these two tables are combined into critical orders. Now for example, if I have deleted this info, see what it is showing. See this error. This table has been referenced by another query. See the query cannot be deleted because it's being referenced by another query critical orders. Because here we are taking that information from the high priority table, because here in the append queries we are taking directly reference from the high table, right? So it is throwing the warning. At that time what you need to do, okay, at that time what you need to do, first you need to delete this information, delete the append what we are doing, and later only you can delete that. Now what I am doing, I want to delete only the high priority orders, right? Here in the combine I am removing this high, then only the priority will be appended into here. Now when I see the append queries, we don't have high because we have excluded the higher now. See, now we don't have high. Now you can directly delete this one. Now it will not throw any error because we don't have any reference between any tables from the high, right? Directly it will be deleted. See, understood? This is about the append queries where we will load up and everything. Okay, again we'll see the merge queries. Okay, merge queries in the sense, now think that we have this complete information in the critical orders. Here we have the product ID but not the product name, and customer ID we don't have the customer name. Now what I want to do, what we will perform the same actions in the joins where we will load up we will join multiple tables into one and we'll fetch the information from different tables, right? Now in my case, what I want to do is, for each product ID I want to return the product name which is there in the products table. Now in the SQL, in the sense where we will write the join between both the tables and we'll fetch the information what we want from here. The same thing we can do by using the merge queries. Now I am in the critical orders. Now see, after appending also we have 15 columns because the rows has been columns has been not increased because there will be exact name between both the tables. In some cases where we have what will get here I have the priority. Someone will have spelling the wrong as priority something in the prior table. Then what happen? It will create one more duplicate row. At that time we need to manually check and we need to correct the proper name. Then automatically the data will be appended. We'll see that also then. 1 second. Just here what I am doing. Any of the column, not only this. Now in this case exactly it is matching. For just reference I am taking this one. Here I am taking only these 5 rows. Now here also I have 15 columns, but now see, when we append, right, one more column will be created. See, now the 16 columns is created. Now when you click on this priority, you will have only critical, because that one more column which we have loaded, no, that is not there with this exact name, right? Because see, whatever we don't have, that information is coming null. But in earlier cases, we have this information. Now that new column is created because the spelling is something different, no? So it is created. Wherever we have the critical orders, there it will become as null. And what we are loading these priorities from this priority table, right? For that only the information will be shown up. Now in these cases, you need to clean up this information. Just whatever the spelling we have done, no, you can do after appending or directly from here we are loading, no, just you can rename the same thing. Now we have renamed it, right? Just I am taking back to the original name. In the real-time scenarios also, you will get the naming mismatches. For that only, you need to be very careful when you are appending this information. Now see here, again it is 15 columns only. Now just I have renamed it. Now when I go to the critical orders, automatically it has been identified. Then it will come as 15 columns only. This is how append will work. Okay, now we'll see the merge queries. Here we don't have the product name. I want to fetch out the product name. Now here I have only 15 columns. Okay, now I am loading. Just click on this table anywhere. Just click on merge queries. Once you have selected the merge queries, it will show up the pop-up to which table you need to merge. What we have do in the joins, right? Just we'll keep the left join and we'll enter the table name. Now we need to select the particular table name. Just I want to retrieve the information from the product table. Here I have the product ID. Here I have the product ID. What we will do in the joins or in the Excel, we will do the VLOOKUP from the matching columns, right? That is what just I have selected. We are not writing any function. Just click OK. There it is has been directly we have taken the left join itself. Now click on here. We are loading that complete table here. Now you can select the required columns which you want. Now I am selecting only the product name here, and you can take the information what we have in the product table, like all the columns. For our scenario, we are taking only the product name. Now you can check this box or not. Here the box use the column name as prefix in the sense. Now when I load this product name, right, what will come as when I click on this option, this product table name is there, right? Product dot product name, it will come. When you click uncheck this option now, only this column will come. I am unchecking. See, now we got all the information. We have the product name in the critical list table orders also. Now the column is increased. Understood? This is the merge queries and the before one is append queries. Now think that next in the future, I want only this column and I don't want any information from the product table for my report building. Then you can disable this one, anything. Because anyway, we have taken all the product name. In future, I don't want any information from the product table. No, you can delete, enable load this one, disable load. Now, if you want more columns from the products table, now we have taken only the product name, right? Directly, you can come to the merge queries. Already, it is created relation this table, right? You can select the number of columns which you want. Earlier, we have taken only product name, no? Now I am taking product name and product category, subcategory. Then when you click on OK, in the next step, it will come three tables, three columns. I am deleting this step. See now, three columns I have taken. Now we have product name, product subcategory, and products subcategory. Product category and subcategory. Understood? Here why we are getting nulls is for 567 product ID, which I shown earlier now. We don't have the product information in the product table for 567 product IDs. As we have used the left join, whatever the tables, whatever the information we have in the orders table, we'll get all the information and matching information from the product table. But here we don't have that, right? So it is showing as null. But what we have the information for that we are getting. But when we have used the inner join, no, then it will look for only the matching rows. Then at that time, these rows will be not visible here, the nulls.
Left merge query. I mean, we can go for right.
Yeah,
I mean,
we
how
can
did you
take
get to
it.
know that?
Yeah, that is what. When we have taken the primary table. Now see here what we are taking. Critical orders is our primary table and foreign table is this one. Because here we are just having the information of the product IDs. Okay, then we'll go for left join itself because we need to fetch the information what we have. In the critical orders, we have the complete information about the orders. Okay, for that this will be the left table. We need to get all the information from the left table, and we have what we have information from the priority table or the product table. Here what we are taking, here I have the complete information, but in the products table we have only the product ID. At that time normally what we do, for example, if I have taken inner join now, then these rows will be skipped, right? But I don't want information to be skipped out. What the information is not matching, it will come as null, but the information will be there. Otherwise, if we have taken the inner join, no, then what happen, it will delete these two rows, right? Then the sales will be deleted for completely 567 product IDs whatever we have. Then the sales will be decreased. But now in this case, just the product name will come as null, but we have the complete information. In this case, we are taking the null in left join. When we take the inner join, no, that will be skipped. If you have take the right join, right? Now right join, we don't have any use in this case. For example, in some scenarios, we will have the right table as primary. Then you can take that information.
That means if I want to merge in product table,
Yeah,
uh,
now see how it will come. Now when we have taken the right join, here first see how many rows we have. Here we have the unique product IDs, right? Now here I am doing the same thing we will do as merge queries. Here I am taking the right join. Here what we will fetch. Okay, anyway, we have the product ID in the critical orders also. No, we will do the same. Here I am taking. Oh, 1 second. Because from here we have taken the reference. No, it is throwing error. Let me delete this step which we have done earlier, the merge queries. Okay. Now I am coming to the products table. Click on merge queries. Here I have the product ID and I need to fetch out the uh, critical orders product ID. Now see how many rows you will come. Now what you are getting when you have done the left join now from here. This is the primary table now it is taking and matching information from the right table. Earlier in the critical orders we have around 8,000 plus rows. Now when I taken these two tables, right, and I have taken the left join, it is coming as 1244 and matching rows from out of 1244, 1286 rows from the first table because we have extra rows here now. Now if I have performed the same thing on the right join, now this will get all the information from here and matching information from here. Then you will get all the rows. Anyway, we have deleted the high rate, so it is showing as 6,631. Normally it should be 8,000 plus. Now here we are taking this table as the primary and this table as secondary. Now in this case you can use the right join. Okay. Now when you click on OK, whatever the information which we got earlier when we have done the left join in the critical orders, the same information you will get here also. But now see, here earlier we are taking only the product name. Now when you click on this critical orders, you will have the complete information. You need to select all the columns which you want it. Now I am selecting all the columns. Just click on OK. Then automatically here also you will have the complete information. That's it. Taking the which one as the primary table, that will work as the right table or the left join or the right join. That's it. Just it is vice versa for left join and right join. That's it. Which you are taking the primary table. From that we will create the take the necessary one, like it is for left join or for the right join. Now when we have taken the critical orders, now we have taken the left join. In the products table we have taken the right join.
Concept will be the same as SQL.
Yes,
But
the same sequel. Exactly the same option. You will not do anything here.
okay, but in SQL, there is a, I mean, thumb rule that if we are going for the left join, so left table will take all columns, and different table will take only matching column. So
Yeah,
that will be also applied, right?
yeah. Even that is also coming right here.
Mhm. So that is the
Earlier,
reason that column or value will be increased 6,000 something.
yes,
Is it?
see now here when I take in the critical orders, I am taking the left join, right? When I take the left join, I am getting exactly whatever we have information. Now in this table, we have 6,630 rows. Okay. Now when I have done the left join, right, from the products table, we are getting two nulls, which you can remember. Because we
Yes.
don't have that information for that product IDs information in the products table. But we are getting that complete information, just we are getting nulls wherever it is not required, which is not there in the products table, but we are getting complete rows. Now when I taken this one as the primary table, then we have done the same action, but we have taken the reverse, like right join. Then what happened here, we will get the complete information and matching information from the products table, critical orders table. There also, when we are taking the match information, 567 product ID is not there here, right, in the products table. But wherever we have this product 567 information, there we will not get these rows itself, because here when we are mapping that information only, we don't have the 567 in the orders table, so you will not get any information. But when we are taking here, no, what we have here, we have the complete information, we will get it. Okay.
Okay.
Yeah, now we'll see the remaining options here. This is just copy, in the sense you will copy and you can paste the information. Delete, rename, enable load, which we have seen now. This include report in the refreshments. Now only for the enabled option we will have. Now here, this one include report and refresh, in the sense if I have disabled this icon, what it, if I have done the refresh again, it will not take the refresh data. If I unselect this option, no, even when I have data, so in the products table, if I changed some information and I have done the refresh, it will not load up here because we are disabling this information. That is just for refresh itself. Duplicate reference, which you already seen no, earlier, Like duplicate in the sense complete all the steps and everything will be duplicated. Reference in the sense from this parent table, one more child table will be created. Now, which earlier we have seen now for append queries, something like that. Directly it is referenced from this particular table to there. Move to group these ones in the sense just we can, here we have multiple tables now, we can group it. In the real time scenarios, like the same thing earlier we have seen no priority orders. Now at the time we used to get each customer different way. Now for example, if I have loaded 10 customers information but all the columns are same, what we will do here, we will just group up as one, like we will rename it as customers. When you click on this just expand icon, right, all the tables will be shown in one group. That is for just grouping that information only. Move to group, move to new group, move up and down and everything. Okay, here advanced editor in the sense the same thing we have. Properties just for renaming the table name, what we have directly here. Here only I need to tell you the parameters. I will tell you that one later. Any doubts here? Last we'll go to the transform. Here the same options earlier which we have seen. These are not required. This statistics and Python script now. Group by, which we have seen earlier, the same grouping option. Use first row as headers. Transpose we'll see now. Transpose in the sense like it will change the options from rows to columns and columns to rows. Here we have lots of information. Now we will take just one example. For example. Yeah, now, yeah. Here we are not identifying the column name exactly. This region and manager to be the column, right? Just I am promoting as headers, one step, so that the region and column will be. Now, when I have used the transpose, right, what it will do, it will make the rows as columns and columns as rows. See, now it will come as like this. Anyway, in this case we don't require. Now I have done this one, right? If I want to again do the this one, then automatically it will come as initial data itself. Just it is for creating the rows and columns, like what we have in the rows to be part as columns. Columns will become as rows. Just that transpose. Just I am deleting these two. Now here reverse rows in the sense, invert this table rows that has displayed as rows and columns are first. Now when I'm clicking on this one, just the order is changed, right? That's it. Now here count rows, just you will get the total number of rows in the table. Now here we have 8 rows, right? That is what. Now when you load up this information, now you will get only this 8 as number. That's it. You will not get this information. In the applied steps, what we are doing all the actions, what we have done the last step, only that step will be loaded into the Power BI model. Okay. This is data types. This is auto detect data type, rename, replace, which we have seen earlier. Fill in the sense like the information which we want to fetch out, like from the up to down log, what we will do in the copy now, the same thing information. Here we'll see the pivot and unpivot. Here the pivot in the sense like what we have in the table, right? Particular columns which I have taken, only those two information it will show now. Wait, let me do one of them. Here I am selecting priority, quantity and sales. Here I am doing, okay, here already we have, right? First we'll see the unpivot columns. Just I am unpivoting this one. See, here what happened every time it is, 1 second, I will do something. Critical and just quantity I am taking. I am pivoting this one. It will come as only, just I am taking values and everything is okay. Just it will create. Now when we have group up this information now see what happened when I take in priority and quantity, right? What happened? The priority is coming to the columns. Okay, the priority which we have earlier, like critical, not specified, low and medium, those are came into the columns, and wherever we have the information particular rows, it will came, otherwise it will came as null. Okay, because it is happening from the table to, we are taking only that information, like what I am doing in my case now here, if I want to see only information here, just I am removing other columns other than these two. Later we'll load it again. For just this example itself, it will be clear. Remove other columns. Then we have only the priority and quantity. Think that I have this information. Okay. Now what my requirement is, I want to see the information for each priority in different columns. Now for that you can use the pivot column. Then what happens, this critical whatever the values we have here, right, in the priority, it will come as new table, new columns. See, you got it. Now what we have, earlier we have this information as priority column, and we have critical, not specified, and everything, but the value is each one, it is separate. Now what happened, wherever we have the critical, it is automatically some, and for not specified it is like this, and low and medium. Understood? This is the pivot column where we can fetch we can split the information what we have in the particular columns to each separate columns.
So basically, it's a summing up the all columns.
Yeah, it is not summing up. Like what happened now, in this case, after I am removing, here I have in the priority, I have this 4 one, right? I have this 4 only. Now when I have performed the pivot option, what it is taking, this information what we have in the critical is coming as different columns, and the information is automatically aggregated. Now for critical, we have these many rows, right? So automatically it will sum up the information and it will create as new column. Now see here, what it is what happening. Now the information which we have in the priority, this only we have the 4 unique records, right? So it is created
Mhm.
4 unique columns and the value is aggregated.
Okay, okay, yeah, yeah.
The now think that we directly got this information itself. Now for example, now in this case, from the data source loading, we got this information like this. Now if we want to do the same thing which we have seen the earlier, right, then you can unpivot the columns. The initial step you will get it, but it will come as aggregate. See, it will, it is coming like this. 1 second, we'll do something different. Normally, just for pivoting and unpivoting only information. Now, here in this case, we have this table information. We are taking to the columns. Now, what we have in the columns, we can take it as to the particular rows. Now, we don't have this proper information to show here. Why this one is coming as error? Okay, it is gone. I will take one more data later and I will show you this how unpivot work, because here we don't have the proper information to load. When we done that unpivot, it will come as normally table only again from the columns, which now earlier what we have done, what we have in the rows, we have taken as columns. In that case, when we have unpivoted the data, right, what we have in the columns information will come as each row. Okay, now here this is move in the sense like this sorting. You can directly do by selecting this column also, otherwise directly you can click on this to left, right, mid and beginning. Directly you can navigate here itself, otherwise it will. Now automatically the step is created, reordering the columns. If I deleted this step and initially process what we have done in the initial column, the same thing information is available. Convert to list. Now here I have different thing. I am just clicking on convert to list. See how the data will come. Got it? Only we are getting one column and only that we are getting list. Now the icon is also something different. Earlier we have seen this customers, this as the table icon, this one. Now this is the list, right? Only we will have this information like in the particular column, and that is referenced from this above step only. Otherwise it will not come here. Then it will come here. Normally when we are doing something like if I want to delete the duplicates, or I want to in the many to many relationship, if I want to handle that case, then we'll come to the relationship. Normally directly we will not do on this table. First we will take the reference, or we can take the duplicate, then it will create it, and later I will perform this list option, or otherwise you can directly delete other than that column also, that also fine, no problem. Just we have an option. Now here, other than these columns, you can remove everything, but it will come as only table. But when I have used that icon, right? Now I am not doing anything in the critical orders, just I am doing here. Now later I will remove the duplicates. Now you will have only that information. Got it? When we are doing many to many relationship handling, no, at that time to create the bridge tables, this will be helpful. Okay, now I am going back to here. Transform. The split column which we have seen earlier by using the delimiter or any character, something like that, by number of positions, the same thing here. And this one is about the data type only, like the one which we seen earlier, like lowercase, uppercase, the same thing. Now here we have the critical orders in the normal letter. If I use the lowercase, everything will become in the lowercase, and in the uppercase we'll get it. Capitalize each word, in the sense for each first character what we have after space, it will come. Now here, now anyway it is properly there. First we'll make it as small letters, and later we'll perform that one. You can directly right click here itself, and you'll have that same option in the transform. The options which we see now, the same thing will be available here also. Now first what I am doing, I am taking it as a lowercase. Everything will become as lowercase. Yeah, now it is created like this. Just we have lowercase this text, and now again I am doing transform, capitalize each word. The earlier form, like the C and S will become capital. Just it is about this only. What we have these options like trim, in the sense, uh, in some cases if there is any lots of spaces. Now here we have only single space, but if they don't have they don't enter the information properly, like creating the multiple spaces between them, then when we have used the trim, no, automatically it will remove unwanted spaces from the text, and it will create take only one space when I have used this trim. No, now in this case we don't have any information like that. No, normally it will perform like that. When we have unwanted spaces between them, automatically it will identify the spaces, and it will delete. Only one space will be available. Clean, in the sense, if you have unwanted characters or something like that, directly it will come like that. Length, how many characters in this one? Now see, the customer name has 16 characters. Bill Dontale has 9 characters, something like that. We can do the same by using the length function also in the DAX. Any options here? JSON XML, like JSON I already shown, right, how to do the transform JSON. That will be in the real-time scenarios also. When the information is stored as form of JSONs, then you need to perform this action. Understood? Any doubts here? Can now extract this, the same thing. Length of characters, first characters, how many characters you want. Parse, in the sense like JSON and XML. Any doubts in this one until now, like from the home tab or from the transform tab? Later we'll see how to create these columns. We have column from examples, custom column, Invoke custom function in the sense first we need to create the parameter here, then only it will work. Show you later that one. Conditional column, this one we'll see. And again, these options are same. Later, this is about the just formatting this option itself.
Anaya, once you tell JSON, Anaya.
Okay. First JSON, I have this information in the SQL table, in the events table, SQL. First, I will load this information. Again, I am going to new source. Anyway, I have created earlier, no? I am just taking the direct source. By the time I will open this one also. I have created now. Okay, it is loading up. Wait a second. That JSON information is available for me in the events table. Just I am clicking on OK. The table is loading. See, now the table is loaded. Here what happened? We have this events information completely, but in the browser, in this column, we have multiple information. Now, just I am clicking on this one. See what we have there. In the browser information, we have the browser name, Mac, browser OS is Mac, name is Safari, and resolution is how much resolution they were using. Now in the single column itself, we have multiple rows and multiple columns information. This is how the JSON will look like first. When we are loading the information also, when we are writing, when we are taking any information from the APIs, normally all the APIs will be stored as form as JSON format only. Now first we'll show here how the it will look. Events table. Running. Now here when I click on this value editor, just I am showing how the information will look. See now here until here JSON inside the JSON. Here this is the top level JSON. Inside that we have OS name resolution, and inside that resolution again we have two more. Like this is JSON inside the JSON. This is what we will say as dictionary in the Python. Now if I want to extract this information directly in the SQL, we have an option SQL function like JSON extract, something like that. Now when we have loaded this information to the Power BI, then how we need to do? Just click on right click, transform JSON. Automatically it will identify the upper JSONs everywhere. It will convert it as record. Now when you click on this, earlier we have seen in the merge queries, just the option will come. Now you can select the columns which you require. Now in my case I want to load all the information, just I am clicking on this, but this resolution has again this information like the JSON information again. Now when I click on this information, now you are able to see right individually, and in the resolution we have this information like one more JSON is there. Now we have expanded the top level JSON, we have one more JSON inside the JSON. Then you can directly do this and you can select the required columns. Now we have the complete information which we have seen earlier. This is how we will pass the JSON.